Welcome back to Rent-Free History. I'm your host, Kem Duosu, and today I'm joined by a returning guest. Please state your name.
Julio Reyes.
Thank you. Thank you, Julio, for being back. You were on the very first episode of the show.
I know, man. It's full circle.
Full circle.
You were really good at this.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So that first episode, we talked about the rise and fall of MTV. We're doing another rise and fall today, but we're doing it on another topic. We are talking about the rise and fall of home video. So we're basically going to cover the origin of the videotape, how that all started, home video, and how that kind of got released to the masses, and then how the rental era started, and how that got replaced by streaming,
and how Rob Dyrdek shot it in the back of the head or something. I don't know. Yeah, man. I feel like he ruined it.
I mean,
that's my bias. All right.
A lot of reruns.
Yeah. Well, ridiculousness has almost become just like this, this posh. Just here, it's like the home video thing, right?
Yeah.
It's nothing like, what was it for AFV? America's Funniest Home Videos?
Yeah, America's Funniest Home Videos.
Yeah, with Bob Saget.
Yeah.
Dude, that was my childhood. That was like something I would watch with my family, where we watch, it was hey, we're all going to watch this one thing on TV. It's not like what my dad wants to watch. It's not what my mom wants to watch. It's like what we all watched and pointed and laughed at, somebody.
Brought everyone together.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Like that one show, what was it, The Idol? Do you remember that show?
No.
It's that show at The Weeknd.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
It's just it has really bad acting, really bad plot. So everyone I like those shows because they unite everyone together.
Yeah. I think I've seen clips of it. But yeah, you're right. I feel like those shows, even they're bad, but it kind of brings people together. Like, yo, that was bad, right? And then the conversation stems from that.
Another thing that brings people together, home video.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the origin of just recording video in general. So, of course, you got film. In the 50s, a new form of recording comes out called the videotape. It's mainly used for TV. And it's because they were originally there was one way of recording television. And you had your East Coast market and your West Coast market. And to play something later on in the day, you would need to record it. And they use this thing called a Kinetoscope, which is this very poor quality way of recording something. Like, you can see old TV shows and the way they record with kinetoscopes. They do not look very good at all.
Yeah, I imagine. No.
But videotapes came out, and they were mainly used for it was basically like a junking thing, unfortunately, where they would record the show, make sure they had it for enough for the East or West Coast market, and then as soon as they were done with it, they would likely just erase it, which is why we unfortunately don't have a lot of early TV. One show in particular that still looks great, and didn't do this because they actually shot on film, I Love Lucy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, not every show was like I Love Lucy. And also, unfortunately, videotapes didn't really become commonplace until the 70s. They just weren't something that the masses could just afford like that.
Okay.
And they didn't have the ability to make VHS players and stuff like that until about the 70s. So we get to the 70s, and that's where we get to the birth of home video in the different formats. We've got VHS, which I learned yesterday stood for Video Home System. I did not know that.
Wow. No, I didn't know that either. That's cool.
We've got Betamax, and then we've got LaserDisc.
Yeah, LaserDisc was like a CD, right? But
it was
just a giant CD.
Yeah, giant CD. And you would have to flip it around.
It's crazy.
To watch half the movie.
It's like a visual vinyl.
Essentially, yeah. But LaserDisc actually never truly took off, despite the fact that it had better audio. It had surround sound due to the cost of them, and then they were unable to record TV shows like VHS tapes were able to.
Huh. Yeah. So it was kind of like the Blu-ray of that time, right? It was hey.
Pretty much. But another fun fact. They did not stop production until 2009.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Of the LaserDiscs?
LaserDisc. Yeah,
What? I could get a LaserDisc version of Shreks.
probably. It probably wouldn't be in English though, because
Oh.
I think in America the last LaserDisc was probably printed around 2000, but I think in other countries and other regions
Yeah.
they printed them until 2009.
Any idea on the regions or countries?
I'm gonna say probably Japan because I think that's where it originated.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, definitely the Asian markets. And a similar thing happened with Betamax. Now, Betamax was similar to VHS, but it was like slightly smaller. And it had better picture quality, but it had a similar problem. They could only record about 60 minutes, which means like you couldn't record a full movie,
Yeah,
for example.
definitely not
You're
the-
recording maybe 2 episodes of a TV show.
Definitely not The Godfather.
Yeah, definitely not The Godfather. Definitely not The Godfather
Not
Part
Titanic.
2. Not Titanic. And they didn't end production until 2002.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's
so these
cool.
these formats were around for a while,
Yeah.
but it really didn't matter because VHS was just the VH best.
Yeah, I have to apologize because I came into the show flying that we were talking about like home video, but like
Oh, like rentals?
no, like funniest home
Oh,
video,
America's
like
Funniest
that,
Home Video.
like not that specifically, but you know the culture of
Home video,
filming
like home movies.
videos with like
Yeah.
a video tape,
Yeah.
and then how that is evolved till now, where it's just like we do it with our phones.
Yeah.
So my bad.
No worries. I guess I probably should have made it more clear because I did say home videos. That does seem like home movies. in a
Yeah,
way.
yeah, you know.
That's where I was like, oh, you're talking about Rob Dyrdek? Where did that come from?
You're like, I hate him. I know. You're like, okay.
I
Yeah.
actually come from, get off topic for a bit. I actually, like, at the time I was growing up, Robin Big came out on MTV.
Oh, I love that show.
Yeah, I didn't really know him as a skater. I knew him as this guy that just, like, had all these TV shows
Yeah.
and businesses.
Yeah, I kind of stopped watching after, I think after Big passed away. Or after Robin Big and went into Fantasy Factory.
Yeah.
I think that's when I kind of separated. But, yeah, I mean, part of that, right? Like all these guys that we were watching growing up, though, they had like the big screen TVs and they had, I mean, I'm thinking about kind of like, it's not the same format, but if you think about audio, how you had the vinyl player, cassette player,
Yeah.
and all, and so you kind of had the same thing for your home surround sound entertainment system, or at least some people did, you know, where it was like a VHS player, a DVD player, and then I remember when there was a DVD and a VHS and
player.
you're like, what?
I still have one of those.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
I have a Blu-ray player somewhere. But I mean, what's crazy is that all of this technology, even though it's like you can probably find one out back, you know, next to a dumpster, these were all like $600 to $800
Yeah, they
pieces
were
of equipment at the time. Yeah.
Um,
In Fast and the Furious, the first one,
first
that truck they steal
Oh,
is full of those TV VHS.
Yeah. And that's why it was such a big deal. Nowadays, everyone would be like, why is there a truck carrying... Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's, I don't know, it's, I guess it just attests to how things change and interesting to see.
Yeah. Speaking of changes, Betamax, LaserDisc, they tried to make changes and to make themselves a bit more competitive. By that point, it was just too late.
Yeah. So is the modern version of that kind of like our PS5s and Xboxes now, since they're the ones that are streaming all the stuff?
You could say that. I'm going to get to that because it's an important component on why DVDs took off so much too,
And then,
because of
yeah.
the PlayStation 2 and stuff
Oh,
like
yeah.
that.
PlayStation 3.
Yeah.
And then like this now kind of like a morphism of video game entertainment and, you know, streaming and stuff
Pretty
like
much.
that. It's like, yeah, just plug me in.
So the next thing I want to talk about,
Yeah.
rise of home video stores. 'Cause
Oh, like Best Buy and Mr. Video and all those?
Yes, Best Buy, Blockbuster. Well, Best Buy is a bit more like home like video, like you're purchasing it. Like I'm talking about video rental.
Video, okay.
Yeah.
Clarify this because I'm like Radio Shack?
Like Blockbuster, Hollywood Video.
Oh, I said Best Buy, huh?
Yeah.
I meant Blockbuster.
Yeah.
Okay.
The good old Blockbuster. So it was like a nice cornerstone of the culture at the time. Now a bygone practice. Kids nowadays don't know what the phrase "be kind, rewind" means.
Yeah, they don't know about that curtain back room.
Yeah.
You're like, what's going on back there? I want to go over there.
But the most popular among these were Blockbuster, of course. Then you also had Movie Gallery, Hollywood Video, West Coast Video, and Family Video. But then you also had mom and pop stores that like were also around, and they gave more of like a specialized taste with like a personal touch. They had foreign films and cult classics that like Blockbuster's not going to have because they want like the most popular films and like.
Yeah, it's like, going to Netflix and then going to Tubi.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and then it's cool too. Like I feel like when Netflix first came out, they had all the indie movies. Like they had like Rubber, Hobo with a Shotgun, VH, like these movies that All Hallows Eve, and I don't know. That's just an interesting observation as well.
And I feel like it depends on the competition too, because as you'll see. Like, mom and pop stores could compete for a little bit because they had, like, the more niche taste. So if you were like, oh, I kind of like this. I'm a film snob. I'm going to go to this place. I'm not going to go to Blockbuster. And that's where, like, there was, like, sort of like an even footing among them. Kind of like a Nintendo versus Sega type thing.
Yeah, yeah. And then there was a monkey wrench. Well, like, I feel like Netflix started, but then there was also Redbox.
Redbox, yes.
Remember Redbox?
Yes.
And people would just steal them. I remember there was a video store, late fees.
Yes.
We had to stop going to certain music videos because they'd be like, hey, you never turned in this movie. And we're like, we never rented that movie. And then our relationship would end there with that movie store.
In terms of a couple of cult films that like were really popular around the time, Evil Dead became popular. Clerks. Empire Records, The Iron Giant. All these films that like kind of like didn't do that well when they were released in theaters, but then like they found a second life like on home video.
Yeah.
And then you've also got with the home video, it leads to the home video direct to video market where like films that like they aren't considered releasable in just like theaters maybe because nobody's interested in them or they don't seem to be like
low budget
stuff.
Yeah, I'm thinking like Sharknado. I know
Sharknado,
that's probably
stuff
newer,
like that.
But yeah, stuff like or what's the actor's name? The one from Face Off, Nicolas Cage. He had a ton of movies that went straight to DVD and stuff like that. The $5 bin at Walmart.
I still go to that $5 bin.
Yeah, and they would have double features. Remember, they used to have full screen and widescreen.
Yes.
My mom would make it a big deal. Like, no, we got to get the full screen. I hate widescreen version. And I remember at a certain point, you just weren't able to find. Everything was widescreen.
Yeah. I feel awkward because I have the Lord of the Rings movies, but I bought the wrong ones because I think Fellowship, full screen, and then Two Towers and Return of the King, widescreen.
Oh, okay.
I mean, of course,
it irks you a little bit. It irks you.
Yeah, it's just like my collection is like sort of incomplete.
Yeah. Yeah, those movies too. I think renting out videos was cool because it allowed you to consume movies like that too at your own pace, right?
Yeah.
Because those movies are long.
They are.
And being in a movie theater for like 2.5+ hours can kind of, I don't know. I personally can't sit still that long, so it's cool to crack a beer, go, pause it, whatever you need to do.
Another good crazy thing is like with the advent of VCRs, you could rewind like the movie. Like if you were like, "Whoa, what just happened?" and then you could just rewind it and see something. You're like, "Whoa, that is." Yeah. I would not have noticed that the first time.
Yeah.
But then you've also got like you just mentioned, you could stop the movie. Like if you just wanted to, you can't really do that with DVDs. Like they just unless you like literally just pause it and turn the TV off.
No, the only thing I can think of that was able to do that was unreachable. It was TiVo. Right? It was like this expensive, and it's crazy because you think about like cable's really tied into this as well, right? You were kind of like forced to watch whatever's on cable unless you bought the movie, and or unless you paid extra for Cinemax and Stars and HBO.
Yeah.
Man, and then like when it came to like your favorite shows, right? You would buy these giant box sets. So if
Box
I
sets.
wanted The Sopranos,
Yeah.
it'd be like this 64, crazy box set. I remember my dad bought like this. He still has it somewhere. It was like this $600 box set of like the ultimate boxing championship fights or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just like 30
30.
VHS tapes.
Wow.
It's like, what the hell are you gonna do with all these?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we talked about VHS. They are pretty much dominating. Blockbuster is like ahead. All the others are a close second behind. But then something changes near the end of the decade. First thing is DVDs come out in 1997.
Mm-hmm.
And with DVDs also comes a small DVD company, DVD by mail company, called Netflix. Comes out in 1997.
Yeah.
And they're competing heavily with VHS. Now, eventually, VHS is overtaken by DVD in 2003.
Okay.
A lot of factors kind of key into this, and it's DVDs. You're able to store so much more on them, of course, than VHS players. And then the only real problem with DVD is that you scratch them one time, it's over.
Yeah.
But aside from that,
Yeah, and that was something too that Best Buy would do. They would check the DVDs, and they would have. I don't know if you remember this, at the counter they would have like, for video games too. Like, we don't want this returned back, and it'd be like this really cracked, messed up.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's something I remember.
Oh yeah, DVDs, and so Blockbuster was able to adapt by switching over to DVDs, but the mom and pop stores that had this huge inventory of just VHSs, they weren't able to just like quickly switch over the way Blockbuster was, and they slowly got phased out, and there became fewer and fewer of them over time. Another thing that happened is Blockbuster. We'll talk about now the Blockbuster whole part of this, the behemoth of that falling apart. Now, they were bought by Viacom at one point. I think it was either late 80s or early 90s, so they have all this support from Viacom. And eventually Viacom just like sells them. They're just like, yeah, we don't want you guys anymore. And but it happens at the worst time because Netflix launches, and Netflix, unlimited watch time, no late fees, pretty good bargain. But people aren't like subscribed to that yet because they're still like the experience of going to the video store, and they don't know about this Netflix thing, how long that's going to take off. That's going to hold on for. And
Plus, the monthly payment thing is something new.
Yes,
That concept was like, what? To give you money every month? It makes a lot more sense now.
But then also, I was talking. We mentioned this earlier. Home entertainment market. Blockbuster began to lose sales rapidly when stores like Walmart began to pop up, and they just offered, instead of renting it, you could just buy. Like, why? I mean, I'm gonna watch this movie again and again and again. Or I'm gonna watch this TV show multiple times. Why would I bother renting it when I can just have it for almost a little more money?
Yeah, and I remember that Blockbuster, there was a point where it got expensive. Nowadays, it doesn't seem expensive at all, but I remember videos started to cost like $5 to $6 to rent, and video games were like 8 to 10, and that was like holy crap, this is getting bad, or this isn't like something that we can do anymore.
Yeah. So again, Walmart's kind of like taking some of Blockbuster's luster, and the subscription service through the mail with Netflix, that's starting to be a bit of a problem. And they tried to stop. Essentially, Blockbuster is, they've been stabbed a couple times. That's the equivalent, and they're trying to stop the bleeding. And they create their own video on demand service. With a particular company that you may have heard of.
Who?
Enron.
No, never heard of them.
They were for a little info dump, for anyone who doesn't know who Enron is, I barely knew who they were because they fell apart right after I was born. So they were an energy company that collapsed due to widespread accounting fraud. They would hide their debts and they would inflate profits. But it was like a whole thing in like the early 2000s, like
Really?
that .com bubble burst thing
Yeah,
that happened. So they obviously weren't able to help Blockbuster.
No, they probably added some weight.
Honestly, yeah. And so that video on demand service didn't work. But they eventually countered Netflix with Blockbuster Online, their answer to Netflix. And then around the same time, Redbox is starting its first kiosk around, I would say, the mid to 2000s. But it was just like test market, so it didn't fully like go like nationwide until like the end of the 2000s, early 2010s. So Redbox, so Netflix sued Blockbuster over Blockbuster Online infringing on their patent to, mail out DVDs and stuff like that. Unknown settlement. Don't know how much it was settled for, but they did settle out of court.
Oh, wow.
Netflix actually offered to sell itself to Blockbuster twice.
Okay.
If you didn't know that. Which is insane given the circumstances that they're in now.
Yeah, but at the same time, I don't know. It feels like Blockbuster was really kind of like milking this thing, and they weren't really looking towards the future at all.
They were very much in their own way.
Yeah. Almost, and towards the end, they're probably almost living on like fumes of nostalgia.
Pretty much.
And that you can't survive.
Can't survive on that. Yeah. And one of the deals involved Netflix was going to purchase Blockbuster Online's entire inventory.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And in exchange, you would be able to return Netflix DVDs at Blockbuster locations.
That could have been interesting.
Yeah. Unfortunately...
I'm surprised Viacom didn't...
Oh, Viacom is already out by this point.
Yeah, exactly.
So this was a deal agreed on by the CEO of Netflix and the CEO of Blockbuster. But the board of directors...
Just two bros.
Took over... Those two bros. The two bros bringing on a deal to save the company.
Man. Come on, dude. You want to just share?
Yeah.
All right, dude. After a few beers.
Yeah. But the board of directors came in and they were like, oh, okay, we're not going to do that. Also, you're fired. You're done with the company.
Wait, who got fired?
The CEO of Blockbuster.
Holy shit.
For the deal.
Oh, wow.
They were like, that's a terrible idea. They also stopped Blockbuster Online, and they pretty much stopped a bunch of other good things that Blockbuster was doing. I think around the same time they canceled late fees, which you thought would have been a great idea, but then it just made it so like you would just have the DVD for as long as you wanted, but after a certain point you would just have to buy the DVD if you didn't return it. So it's basically the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was Redbox owned by? Do you know at all? Was that like who was doing that? I always thought it was Netflix just because of the red, but I'm curious, like, who was pushing that? Because that was an innovative idea, but it was streaming, right? The fact that you don't have to leave home at all. And even nowadays, brand new movies you can just get, like, on Amazon or whatever.
Okay.
And you can be, like, a total,
So it was founded in 2002 by McDonald's.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And then Coinstar purchased 47% from McDonald's for $32 million.
That was wow.
Outerwall, Coinstar's parent company, acquired the remaining 44% stake in 2009. In 2016, Apollo Global Management acquired Outerwall, making Redbox a private company. And then Chicken Soul for the Soup for the Soul Entertainment acquired them for $375 million in 2022. And then they filed for bankruptcy and shut down in 2024.
So it was like this company that just kind of got tossed around, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah, but the functionality was just so important. Like, the need was so important that it didn't, it wasn't something that was going to blow up like Netflix, but it wasn't something like Blockbuster that was going to, like, die right away.
pretty much.
Yeah, cool.
So Blockbuster locations are getting shut down more and more year after year after year. 2010 is the first year where they're like, oh, we're screwed. They file for, I think it was Chapter 7 bankruptcy. And they began closing more and more stores. And all the while, in 2007, a couple years before this, Netflix finally launches their streaming platform. Same year as Hulu. So those start coming out.
Damn, 2007, right as the recession is about to start.
Yeah.
So that's almost like the perfect conditions for that, because people are like, I can't go out.
Yeah. So those two start becoming behemoths. And, you know, they start off slow, but the growth is bigger. It gets bigger and bigger. And by 2013, Netflix, like, does it. It releases its first couple original programming slates. I don't know the first. What a lot of people misunderstand about Netflix originals is that they think the first show was House of Cards. It wasn't.
Wasn't that like a? Oh, okay. Yeah.
The first Netflix original was a show called well, it says House of Cards, but when I looked it up but that's what the AI gives me for the answer. But the first show,
like an actual popular show or something like that.
I can't even. No, it's not. It's not even a popular show. I don't remember what it was about. It was a comedy. But if anyone figures it out, just let me know in the comments. But yeah, the first original show only lasted like I think 10 to 12 episodes, canceled after one season. It's not even on Netflix anymore.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't think it would be.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think about, do you remember, I don't know if it was around 2012 or 2020, but there was like this giant scare when it came to, not specifically like Netflix or these streaming services, but it was like cable, where pretty much you were going to have these companies do what they're doing nowadays, where you have HBO has its own streaming service, Hulu has its own streaming, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And instead of like cable making it like a package that you purchase, right?
Yeah.
It's now these separate companies kind of like withholding, this is our shows, right?
Yeah.
Like Paramount does, like Drake and Josh and Nickelodeon and all these great shows.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. Did you ever hear about that? Do you know about that law? I remember.
I didn't think that was like a law or anything. I just know that's something that I say sometimes where I'm like, this is just cable all over again. The Hulu, Disney Plus, ESPN bundle is just cable.
Yeah, no, I remember it was like a certain bill or something, and I remember people like, hey, this cannot pass. It's not good if this passes. It's going to be like a monopoly of these services, and that's kind of what we're in. So I know I'll have to come back and research that and tell you about that.
2014 hits.
Yeah.
Last of the Blockbuster stores are closing down. There as of 2019 or 18, there were 2 left. One was in Alaska, and the other one's in Bend, Oregon. The Alaska one closed down by the end of the decade. The Bend, Oregon one is still open.
Today?
Oh,
that's cool.
I still hope to go to it someday.
But these are like franchise, right? They're privately owned. They're not. Blockbuster obviously doesn't exist.
Blockbuster doesn't exist. It's just like one more that's still.
Yeah, it's like a museum at this point.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But that happens. Redbox kind of takes over as like the premier video rental thing for a bit until that kind of phases out by like the mid to late 2010s.
Mm-hmm.
And then Redbox, again, as we mentioned earlier, they sauntered on until 2024 when their assets were liquidated. And here we are in present day in the process of a lot of home video entertainment being kind of phased out. Best Buy, which we've talked about this episode. This is one of the reasons I want to do this. I used to work at Best Buy.
Oh, really?
And they were completely getting rid of all their entire DVD selection.
Really? What were you doing towards the end there? Still renting, right? But more just kind of like dusting off the cobwebs, I imagine.
Oh, no, we weren't renting at all at Best Buy.
Oh wait, no wait, Best Buy
Best
or
Buy.
Blockbuster?
Best Buy. I used to
Okay.
work at Best Buy.
Okay, you used to work at Best. Okay.
No, by the time Blockbuster, I was old enough to work.
I was like,
Blockbuster
God damn it,
was
what
gone.
the hell's going on?
Yeah,
No, Circuit City. Do you remember Circuit City?
I remember
at all?
Circuit City.
That's where I played Guitar Hero for the first time, dude.
I remember Circuit City. I remember Radio Shack.
What happened to Circuit City? Why did Best Buy survive but not Circuit City?
I don't know. Same thing with Fry's Electronics. I guess people just
There's
don't.
one around here, I think, in Santa Ana, right?
There was a Fry's Electronics that was off of.
It was like right next to the freeway.
Yeah, like right before you get to go to the 57 to go to Pomona,
Yeah.
you would pass by it. It's not there anymore.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It sucked because I remember being a kid and I would pass by and I was like, oh, I always wanted to go in there. And then by the time I finally could like drive and everything, it was like shut down.
Tough luck, kid.
Yeah.
No, I know,
Shut down
same
like
thing.
right when COVID happened.
Yeah, Radio Shacks were cool too. I remember going to a few as a kid. Yeah, I don't know. I think everything just got kind of directed towards even Best Buy. Like if you go to Best Buy, there's not a ton of people in there, I feel.
Yeah.
You know, it just kind of goes towards Walmart.
So it made the
Amazon.
job so fun.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So, I mean, that's the current state we're in. Walmart still has their home video collection. Don't know for how much longer. I hope physical media doesn't die out.
I heard that Walmart sells physical media. I don't know if this is true. This might be total BS. But they also sell CD players and DVD players, I believe, and even some cassette players. But I've heard that they sell that stuff so that you can buy it and give it to someone in prison.
Really?
That's what I've heard. I don't know how
Wow.
true that is.
I didn't know you were allowed to like give them gifts and stuff like that. But I've also heard that like I know prisoners are allowed to have like iPhones and stuff like that now.
Yeah, I've seen them grilling, like full on. I've seen some videos of them just like doing stuff. But yeah, I don't know if that's true. I mean, that would make sense to why Walmart still sells these extremely outdated items. I think because maybe at a certain point they weren't allowed to have, access to like the internet like that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Again, just a rumor.
It is kind of crazy. I guess you kind of have to allow them access to the internet because I guess to some people, yeah, it's just crazy. You're depriving. You can't deprive. I get like they're in jail for a reason, but like you're essentially depriving them of like the world, essentially. So I kind of get that.
Yeah, and that kind of touches to, I guess, what we're going to be using in the future is going to kind of be VR, right?
VR.
And we're starting to see more laws and stuff in that. I feel like, I mean, Call of Duty in our day when we were younger and Call of Duty now, probably like, what you can say is totally different.
Yeah.
You can get banned and kicked and stuff. So
Yeah.
we're watching it happen.
And they're trying to get like full on immersion. I like the track pads where you can like be running and
Oh,
actually
yeah,
physically
yeah,
be
dude.
playing the games and stuff like that.
I won't be as good now.
Yeah, you couldn't rent that stuff from Blockbuster back in the day.
No. Yeah.
What are your before we close this off? What are some of your favorite like memories of like renting movies and stuff like that?
I remember the smell, man. There was like a smell and like this carpeted floor feeling. There was like this warmth to going to Blockbuster or just like renting a movie. And it was also cool because usually I'd be with my mom and dad or it'd be a family thing. It'd be a family event.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like Netflix is like, oh, did you binge this show? So it's kind of, and there's so much of media nowadays that like, this person can be into K-dramas and I'm not in it at all. But that's okay because they could watch it on their own time and binge it and consume that media on their own. And so can I, right? If I want to watch, I don't know.
Yeah, everyone has their own.
Everyone has
algorithm.
their own thing and their own algorithm. So it was a little bit different because, and I guess it has its pros and cons because you would have your family and you'd watch it. Some boobs come on. Those moments, just, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
Just like those little interactions. And they still take place. I imagine they do. But it's just kind of like, and also the whole binging aspect too. Because you get a movie. I don't think you could rent a show, right? I don't think you could rent a show back then.
Back then,
Could you?
probably not.
Yeah,
No.
because it would be more than one DVD.
Yeah.
So there was also that. I don't know. It was a totally different dynamic, of course. Who knows if we'd like it now? We'd probably be like, "What the hell? This is boring," or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
So it's yeah. I don't know. What do you think about it? How do you feel?
Well, first I want to talk about. I was there. I remember when the last like close Blockbuster around me like closed down. It was I think it was like somewhere in Riverside. It's an AutoZone now.
Oh yeah.
They turned a lot of the Blockbusters that were around my area into AutoZone.
I had one that was like just down the street. It's a Chase Bank. It's just sad.
Yeah. They like you can still kind of like look if you type in Blockbuster on your phone, it'll say like closed down, but you can see which like stores like nearby. Like there was one in off State College.
Really?
That used to be a Blockbuster in that shopping center.
It's probably that Phil's right there.
Probably.
Yeah.
Honestly. But I remember like the last day, like I remember my mom let us all like get 2 movies that we got to keep, like buy permanently, and I was just like taking it all in. I wish I could have like recorded it or something because I had a phone at that time.
Yeah.
But it really meant a lot to me. I really liked going to the video store.
Well, yeah, we're calm people. We like movies, man. We like movies. We like music. We like, communication.
Yeah.
Consumable media. It's kind of like we observe it and like to take it in. So it would be normal for us to also appreciate and enjoy the process of getting that consumable media. So yeah. Plus, you'd meet people.
You did.
If it was like the cliche, you meet that girl at Blockbuster,
Yeah.
you're not going to meet nobody on going to Netflix or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just, it's a different time, man. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's a good way to end it. Hope everyone liked listening to this episode and kind of reminiscing about the past. Thank you again, Julio, for being on this episode.
Thank you, Cam D. Gonna miss you, man.
Gonna miss you too, man.
It's been fun.
Yeah, it has been fun. All right, guys. Take care. And maybe buy a DVD next time you see one. All right. Bye.